There's about 1 day left in the banner, and I can see there's a lot of people still confused on whether they want to pull for Jing Yuan or save for potentially better characters in the future. And sadly, not everyone is dead set on pulling the General Husbando, which honestly you should be. Even if you heal the enemies, I think he's 100% pull regardless, to be honest. But I'm going to try my hardest to convince you guys to at least pull for the 4 stars in the banner, because it's way too much value to skip, and these characters are guaranteed to be very useful for a very long time, and that's Sushang, March, and Tingyun on his banner. I highly recommend everyone pull on the banner to at least obtain an Eidolon 1 version of Sushang and Tingyun. If you don't already own the character from previous pulls, or previous warps I should say, then it might be difficult, but still try to get the character and then 1 additional copy to unlock the E1. Free to play or not, I can guarantee the power of Sushang and Tingyun is too great to skip out on. So again, if you're not already dead set on pulling Husbando Jing Yuan and you're looking to skip the banner in order to save for, let's say, Silver Wolf, Blade, Kafka, or Locha, or whoever it is, I recommend you don't. There's plenty of time before these other characters arrive, so you can save up Stellar Jades again and hopefully manage to grab some of the best 4 stars in the game currently right now. Realistically, there are not that many 4 stars, and currently in the game there's about I think 13 4 stars at the time of recording, and of the 13 we see 6 of them per patch across 2 banners, meaning that next patch we will see another 6 4 stars across 2 banners, and that will mean all but 1 of the 13 4 stars across 2 months of gameplay will not be on the banner, assuming no reruns of the 4 stars. In simpler terms, all the 4 stars will cycle in and out within 2 patches. In 4 banners, we should see everyone at least 1 time. I don't think Sushang or Tingyun will fall off anytime soon, so Tingyun is pretty future-proof with how her amazing buff works. She's basically the Bennett of this game, and many content creators can't stop hyping her up for good reason. You should definitely build her up. You can pair her with nearly any and all DPS, which will further cement the fact that she's fairly future-proof. And then for Sushang, she's a physical hunt character, and I don't think anyone will contest that spot besides Clara, and even still with her E1, she's way too good to sleep on. You can constantly use her skill on weakness broken enemies for free as long as you have the E1 unlocked. It will constantly refund you over and over again, making her dish out unbelievable amounts of damage, especially if you happen to have her lightcone swordplay. And if you don't, then I hope you're using the free-to-play Hunt 5-star lightcone from Herta's shop. Now, if you still want to skip out on Jing Yuan banner and don't care about the 4 stars, you wouldn't have to wait too long to see the 4 stars again, and I personally don't think that it's worth it at all, and everyone should own a C1 Sushang, considering we don't know how long it will take for a physical damage carry other than Clara to be on a promotional banner. I estimate probably patch 1.4, maybe patch 1.5, which is many months away. And we'll most likely see a physical damage carry sometime in 2024. Like, damn, that is really far from now. Most people don't really care about having elemental advantage, and characters like Sushang will get overlooked in these scenarios, but that is why I'm trying to put this into perspective of just how long you would have to wait if you decide to skip and maybe wait for something better. And I don't think there's going to be anything better, or anyone better, than Sushang in what she excels at, which is dishing out big PP damage on anyone that is weak to physical damage. There is only 2 reasons to skip the banner, and that's if you've got extremely lucky before in the previous banner and already own Sushang and Tingyun and possibly have them in your team and are already built up, or the more likely scenario is you're saving every last drop of Stellar Jade to really confirm the Silver Wolf, Kafka, or whoever it is in the future. Again, I've already explained that previously in the video, that you do have time to get the 4 stars in this banner, and if you haven't already pulled for Seelate or her weapon, then you will most likely have enough Stellar Jade to pull any of the 5 stars coming up in the future banners. Now, for these future banners, I don't know what they would have for the 4 stars, but I can guarantee this though: the Sushang and Tingyun combination is probably the best 4-star combination that we'll see for a long time, unless we happen to see Sushang, Tingyun, and maybe Dan Heng, or maybe Asta. I think that would also be pretty good. But yeah, I don't believe we're going to see another combination this good for a long time. So I highly recommend, again for the 3rd time in this video, I am telling you to pull on the banner for at least, at minimum, the 4 stars if you don't already own them. Finally, let's talk about the lightcone. The lightcone banner, which I personally think is very good, is because the 5-star standard banner, your addition lightcone, feels very lackluster. I think it's called like Night on the Milky Way or something. And the Before Dawn just has so much more value on characters like Himiko, Herta, and of course Jing Yuan himself. It offers 36% crit damage and 18% skill and ultimate damage outright. Like there's no condition to it, like it just provides that. And then on top of that, once you use a skill or use your burst, or sorry, ultimate I should say, you get a 48% damage bonus to your follow-up attacks, making this the most overpowered or overtuned lightcone there is at the moment in the game. I don't believe this lightcone will ever fall off. It's just so amazing and it can work on every year edition character universally, even if they can't utilize the last line of the lightcone, which is the follow-up attack bonus. But it'll be some time before there's a lightcone that can compete with this one in the year edition category. But never fear, because a fully superimposed seriousness of breakfast or the battle pass lightcone can be used just fine if you don't want to get all this extra damage. I think it's perfectly fine to skip out on this in favor of characters, because I mean, we pull for characters rather than lightcones, right? I'm sure everyone wants to do that. But if you are a whale and if you are looking to spend your money, I think this lightcone has a lot of value. I'm a firm believer in characters over lightcones, as with the majority of the player base. So do not pull for the lightcone if you are free to play or a low spender. It's just simply not efficient enough. If you don't already own the March lightcone day 1 of my new life, you can try to snag a copy here as well if you don't already own Lando's Choice or the 5-star Japard lightcone. The 2 remaining lightcones on this banner are the Dan and Asta ones. I personally think they're pretty mid. Specifically, if you're actively trying to pull for these lightcones, spending your hard-earned Stellar Jades, I think that's a big no-no. I'd rather pull them randomly through other gacha warps. So if you manage to get only Silence Remains or Planetary Rendezvous by accident, it's perfectly fine to use in certain scenarios, but again, do not try to actively pull for these. It's not like the character banner. That one has so much more value than the lightcone banner. So again, do not pull on the lightcone banner if you are trying to get these 4-star lightcones. They are really not all that great, except for the March day 1 of my new life. That one is actually pretty decent. I've had the pleasure of logging into about 4 of my viewers' accounts so far, and I can safely say that every single account did actually own day 1 of my new life. I don't know where they got it from, but as long as you have that or Lando's Choice, then I think this is a hard skip on the lightcone banner, and it is not worth pulling. This banner will get me to pull for both Jing Yuan and his lightcone, and I feel like I'm slowly transitioning into a whale in this game, and I'm just slowly descending into chaos because of how hot Hoyoverse be making these characters. God damn. So if you're interested in watching me pull for Jing Yuan or need some help with anything Honkai Star related, we'll be doing a 12-hour stream on Thursday, May 18th, starting at 1 p.m. EST at twitch.tv/MeToon. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more content. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.